Hello wonderful people, Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, bringing you some more first listen coverage. Here we have undeniably one of the most exciting producers in the underground of bass music at the moment, Splitter. Really great that he's been given this platform and allowed to just kind of strut his stuff on such a big label as Circus Records. If you haven't heard of him before, it's not the easiest thing trying to describe his music. It's quite collagey. There's a lot of going on, quite a bit of jazz influence with a kind of foundation of dubstep or just heavy, eccentric actually I was saying, colourful and out there bass music, dubstep, all kinds, just kind of melded and fused together in a very, very exciting way. Don't want to ruin the style too much more beyond what I've said already, just want to kind of let the music do the talking. It's pretty wild, again, if you haven't heard it before, so just kick back, relax if you can, with the music being as hectic as it is going to be, and let's enjoy. Kicking off with the opener here, Warp Drive. Just before we get going, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and hit the bell along the way so you can be notified whenever I drop a new video, please do so. It costs you nothing. I'd massively appreciate it. Now, let's get on with the music. I'm just kind of bracing myself for the madness that is well, I was going to say the madness that is about to ensue. We got quite a still opening.
Please select your preferences. You are able to scroll through the complete list of sources provided. You have selected File, Kick 4. You have selected File, Snare 2. Loading data.
Okay, feels like we're getting into it now. Quite the extensive introduction, but appreciating it. It's very, very fitting of Splitter's style, I'll say that.
Warp Drive.
Oh. As I said at the beginning in the introduction, just so excitable, so much going on. Ah! A little bit stop-start, that idea. It felt like it wanted to go somewhere in particular, but it kept having that jolty approach. Yeah, very interesting track to open up there, and I think quite typical of Splitter's style in quite a lot of ways. I mean, it feels like there should be a genre called, like, I don't know, computer circuit board music or something like that, because, you know, when you hear bass music of that kind, and it feels like the inner workings of a computer or a piece of technology, and you can hear it all kind of wiring away and all the data kind of falling down in front of you like it's some kind of Matrix situation or something like that. The introduction was cool, gave it a nice concept kind of feel, opening up the EP, and what I imagine will be the first time that a lot of people hear Splitter. Maybe goes on for a little bit too long doing that kind of introduction, but it is quite cool. The first drop, pretty manic with a lot going on. The second one, just that little bit more stop-start when you thought it could have leveled up into something that was just essentially the first drop, but with a bit more of a scaled feel to it. But yeah, I do think in the most important moment, the first drop, super emphatic and a lot of colour on show here. Just a cool concept kind of track, and wondering how much more of that approach we're going to get across the EP. And on that note, next up, track number 2 is Exposure, which I think is miling away the shortest tune here, just over 3 minutes. There's the jazzified Splitter coming out to play. It's such an interesting idea. It's such a... this stompage and then just... introduction was a lot of fun. Again, I think that brought in the jazzy style or side of Splitter's approach very effectively. That was great. The first drop is just interesting. Again, it's got that really weird, almost uncomfortable feeling main part of it, but then all the melody to combat that. Ooh. That snare just being offbeat is... I think even if on the surface you're not like, wow, yes, that is like an idea that I really need to hear again, you can at least hear the ambition, you can hear the pushing of boundaries, you can hear the weird and kooky ideas that are just very unconventional and, again, beyond what you would deem to be normal, I suppose, when it comes to this kind of music. Nice little transition there. Wanted to respect that just to get the first second of the next tune. For me, that cut shows off, or kind of showcases a lot better, what Splitter is most renowned for. Best at, you've got that weird off-kilter approach with the second drop. You've got all the jazzy stuff in the introduction. Approach that he does go for quite often, actually, of having like the main feeling of a particular drop, if we're talking about the first one in that tune, just having quite an uncomfortable, unsettling, unnerving kind of feel to it. Like it's got a load of force to it, but just has that weird kind of musical or melodic tone to it that doesn't sit completely well in your stomach, and you know, puts you a little bit at unease, but then that's kind of combated really well with all of that really genuine, flavoursome, colourful melodic flavour that just creates this mad juxtaposition. Classic vintage Splitter in those moments, and pretty much across the whole tune we got there. Next up we have track number 3, which is called Threshold, penultimately on the EP. Ooh. Super jazzified, thick, meaty bass. Ooh yeah. Very much asking a question at the end of that little melodic turn, that... Very nice. Oh my good lord, this has been sensational so far. Here we go. Ooh. Oh. Deary me. Deary me. This is the most complete one so far by a country mile. This is fucking good. Ooh. This for me is the potential, the full potential of his style, when he makes like a super refined idea that repeats in the right way. All the sections surrounding it work towards that. Vocal samples are great and catchy and memorable as well. And then all this fucking jazzy stuff to go with that. Like, how does someone even have this much like creativity and scope with their music? Oh. Yeah. Oh, and again. Mate. That for me is the full potential realised with his style, with his approach to making bass music. Holy shiz. Can't say it enough. That is just the best, pretty much, I think, of Splitter's style. I'm trying to think, for me, of a better, more complete sounding song that we've got from him so far. I think ultimately the way you're going to bring people back in again and again, have them returning to your music over and over, is by having identifiable ideas that repeat in the right ways over the course of a particular track, with good vocal samples to go with that, electrifying introductions that really support the drop ideas effectively and provide the requisite energy, if you will, given what's to come after. The outro as well needs to kind of round it off. That was all there in that tune, with a load more vibrancy and excitement to go with that as well. Like, with that much going on, with that much being packed into, 4 minutes or so, it's not easy to make it catchy and make it stand out and memorable and actually have a load of earworms going on and, keeping your attention in that way. But Splitter very much did that with that particular tune. Pretty much elite stuff, that one, Threshold. Anyway, the final tune on the EP is Daydream, miling away the longest on the EP. Let's get it. Nice bit of underground tube repping there from Splitter. Think about the amount of different styles and genres that have been lobbed into this collection of music, like... Whew. Knocking me back. Knocking me for 6 this one. I'll tell you that. Crazy again, the different kinds of energy we're getting across one tune. Just so much happening. Ooh. This drop and the one preceding it, pretty emphatic ideas, like hitting you in the face, but it feels like there is another level maybe musically to go with it, with each of those drops. The progressions are just like a stramash of just I mean, yeah, if that's not gonna like knock you back, then I'm not entirely sure what is. More tube love. Got a lot of time for that. I was talking about both drops maybe needing to go like one level up when it comes to the more melodic or overtly musical side of them, because there's a lot of emphatic heavy percussion work kind of going on. But to be fair, I do think the second one was a level up when it came to how much is going on in the respective drops with the respective ideas. Yeah, the second one is a bit of a level up on the first one, which is a little bit more spacious, not quite as much happening there, a few more gaps available where you're, kind of willing it forward, pushing it forward, wanting it to do that little bit more, take that little step forward, where the second drop just has the extra kicks, I think, just giving it that alarming and statement-making appeal, just hitting you even more with the kind of force of it, if you will. And then you have the progression of each drop, which, yeah, I mean, that's the kind of material I think that some people hearing it for the first time might maybe just think, if you're not particularly used to Splitter's style, you might just be like, yeah, that's a little bit much. It just feels like there's a little bit too much going on there without a particular idea kind of shining through. It does have a little bit of an overwhelming feel about it, but I think on the other hand, if you are used to it, if you have heard it before, you're just like, yeah, that is classic Splitter. And then the introduction, fantastic, another one of the better, or best ones, sorry, on the EP, with the nice little London Underground tube vocal samples kind of tail ending with the beginning and the end, the intro and outro. Nice little touch there. This EP overall, it's a journey, and I think a good introduction to Splitter style if you haven't heard it yet. Really interested actually, if it is the first time you're hearing Splitter, do let me know down below what you're making of the EP, if you got a favourite track of the 4, and just, yeah, how you're feeling about this kind of level of energy when it comes to a dubstep leaning EP, if we can even call it that. I would say for me, the second half half a lot more effective than the first half. Tracks 3 and 4 that we get here, the cuts overall just feel a bit more complete and kind of rounded off in terms of the ideas. It's just a bit more refined overall. The first two, they've got their things about them that really show Splitter off and certain characteristics of his approach, but you know, I think in doing that it takes away maybe from the effectiveness of the main ideas overall, feeling that little bit too experimental at points maybe, and not having again as much of a refined and focused idea. But then again, you know, that's the exact kind of thing that a lot of people are going to be looking for going back to his music. So yeah, quite the collection of tunes. Following that absolute whirlwind, I'm just about getting my breath back here, and going to be calling it there for my coverage, first listen coverage of Full Flavour, the new Circus Records EP from Splitter. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you could leave it a like, that would be much appreciated. Helps me out a lot. And also, if you wouldn't mind checking out my Patreon, which is linked in the description at the very top. Loads of exclusive content there every single month for a small fee, a very small fee, I think, given how much I am offering there. But yeah, please do consider checking it out if you enjoy my content, if you value what I do, and you want to see me keep doing it, again, for a small fee each month. Loads of exclusive stuff, then please do go and check that out. Keep it naughty until then, and I shall see you in the next one, whatever that might be, on here, on the channel, on Twitch, streaming each Friday, on the Patreon, whatever it is. I shall see you there. Peace.